Today, we are sponsored by MeUndies, Stitch Fix, and Felix Gray. The guest is the hilarious, the wonderful, the excellent Machine, otherwise known as Bert Kreischer. All right, I'll stop. Everyone's like, all right, I get it. New Netflix special out today.
Okay.
Secret Time, which I've watched, loved, hilarious,
Amazing.
So good. You have to watch it, but after this podcast, because I want them to watch this first.
Yeah. You're the first person I ever sent a special to ever in my entire life.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
By the way,
The Machine, right?
The Machine.
Yeah.
It was must have been 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago?
It was like 1 year ago.
No. It had to be.
When you were in here for
when I did the Machine, when I read the Machine,
Was it 3?
It had to be
Maybe 2.
maybe two.
Let's say 5.
Okay, let's say 5.
It was been go.
I'm all about hyperbole.
We go way
it was like
back,
20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It was before the internet. That's what's really impressive about this
Long
story.
time ago.
And I was following you, and I was like obsessed with you. And then I kept tweeting your videos, and then you were like, "Hey, thank you," or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." And you're like, "You got a new special?" I was like, "Let me send it to you." I'd never done that to anyone, and it's such an uncomfortable place to go to go like, "Hey, here's what I've been working on.
Yeah.
Tell me if you enjoy it." And I was like, "Wait, that was a big fucking mistake. I should have let him found me online, the good stuff first." And then I was like, "Shit!" And then you came back, and you're like, "That was hilarious.
It really
We're moving out to
was.
LA." Come do my podcast. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you coming out to LA? I'm a podcaster. Let's hang out. Let's become best friends.
And then the sad part is that we had you on.
Yeah.
We had this probably the best episode we've
You
ever
were
shot.
probably the first guy here in this office.
We had just got this studio. We had
Yeah.
just built
Yeah.
this big, beautiful set. We're like, let's bring Bert in. He's an honored guest.
chaos.
It was such a great. I was flipping the table,
Dude,
right?
I remember you flipped the table. We were drunk. I was pissed drunk when I
Yeah.
left here. And you said to me
was
when you
mad.
started, you go, I don't really drink.
Yeah.
And I was like,
We were
Bad.
drunk by the first break,
Yeah.
which like in 30 minutes we were drunk.
Yeah, I was flipping the table, but it was the best episode I've ever said, and I can say that without reserve because no one will ever see it.
no one will ever.
Yeah, and it's such a shame because it was lost to oblivion for technical issues.
Yeah.
and because we were new, we didn't know what we were doing, and I'm so sorry that happened.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but I will say we learned a lot of things from that episode. We learned a lot from meeting you and having you on, and I want to list some of the things we learned from you, if I
Okay.
can.
Yes.
First of all, to your great credit, it was like 3 hours of shooting, and you said you have to post the whole thing unedited.
Yeah, that was like, I remember you were like, and you were like, you were
Unthinkable.
cutting. You were like, all right,
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, just roll this whole thing.
I can't believe we were doing that. We were taking cuts
Because
while we were talking.
we were
Yeah.
still thinking like
weird.
YouTube video.
You were definitely thinking
Like-
YouTube video and thinking like you're like we got to chop it up, and I was like no.
Yeah.
I kept saying the beautiful stuff is the in between stuff.
is.
Yeah.
It's like I love my favorite part of podcasting is when like something happens off mic and you're listening and you're like, whoa, what's going on over there? That's my favorite part. Yeah.
But we were so obsessed with cutting it and editing it down. It's true that it loses authenticity.
It
Yeah.
loses the pop.
Yeah, and when
Yeah.
you're in the editing, when you're trying to edit down like a natural conversation, it's like maddening.
It's
like,
impossible.
what do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you were right.
Oh, okay. All right.
You were
nice,
right.
Nice, good.
And we always thought, because it took us a while to get there, but we stopped editing. We said, Bert was right.
Yep.
Okay.
Bert was right.
Number 2, I remember we get Uber Blacks for all of our guests now.
Oh my God!
I have to
oh
say.
my God! Oh my God!
did.
I totally forgot about that. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh shit!
What happened?
Oh fuck! Oh my God! I remember that so vividly. You're like, at the time I didn't even. I understood there was Uber, but I didn't know anyone used anything other than Uber Black. And you're like, and I was like, I'm gonna be drinking. I'll get an Uber. And you're like, no. I insist. Got me like a Uber carpool.
No, it wasn't a carpool, but it may have been.
It was an Uber X, and the guy picked me up, and he didn't speak English, and he was not familiar with the driving laws, and he got on the 101, hauling ass, weaving in the traffic. I'm in a Tercel, like a 1987 Tercel.
The thing is,
I totally forgot that. You're like, let us get you an Uber home. I was like, no, I got it.
thing is that I didn't know that there was another option. So I was on the other end, But I remember when he was trying to pick you up, he couldn't find you.
Yeah.
We were on the phone. He didn't speak English.
keep
We're like, his
calling
name's
it.
Bert. He's on the corner. He's a big guy. He's got a beard.
I went to get in his back seat and there were groceries back there. I was like, oh, okay, I'll sit up front with you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So since that moment, I want you to know, we get blacks for all of our guests.
Oh, that's the best.
And ever since that day, we've sprung for the black. I like my Ubers just like I like my men. Black. XL. Oh, yeah, right.
That's a great line.
So,
I like my Ubers like I like my men. Blacks and XL.
so again, giving honor to you.
Totally forgot about that.
And so third, and most importantly, which we have not forgotten, and I shall never forget, by far the most important, as you may now understand as I pull it up, what is this? What is this?
Oh, I know what it is immediately. I know exactly what this is.
Quicksand porn.
Yup. Oh, this was
This
when I was
came
going
out.
through that phase.
Something came up when we were having our last conversation. It's the one. It really sticks out. Is we were talking about all the weird shit we find on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm into this thing, quicksand porn. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
what is that? And then I'm so happy that kind of we get a chance to redo this because I got the opportunity to look it up.
Yeah.
And now we can have the pleasure of watching it together.
Yeah, please. I think I know this one.
Are you familiar with this one?
Well, there's only like 30 out there.
Yeah, they're pretty niche, man. I was
Yeah.
surprised. How did you find quicksand porn?
I think I first heard about it on like a Radio Lab, and they were talking about quicksand porn, and I was like, what's so interesting is I used to have a joke about like the premise was I always thought by this age I would have been trapped in quicksand a couple times by now, like because growing up quicksand was like everywhere, and now they're just to put this out there. There is a comedian who has a joke like that. I never really told mine. Well, I told it but Ian Bagg is the only person that ever heard it. Ian Bagg, hilarious comedian, one time said the best quicksand joke ever. He walked in and my hat was on the floor, and he walked in and he went, "Huh, quicksand got him, huh?" It's just a great one.
That's pretty.
That's
yeah.
funny.
So, but quicksand was in everything I ever saw growing up. Abbott and Costello, everything was quicksand. It was always the damsel in quicksand. And so I had an obsession with
This
quicksand.
isn't a young man's fetish.
Yeah.
No. It's like you got to be like 45.
Okay, that explains.
Because I was like, how did you come?
How
Do people come up with that?
How does your brain get crossed?
Oh no,
in such a way.
It's based in like the same shit that like there was a TV show called The Boogaloos when I was a kid, and like every episode they tied up the girl, and so like that. So I remember going to this. I was a dominatrix gimp for a day on this old show I had, and
the Conquer.
No, Hurt Bert.
Oh, Hurt Bert.
And so I was a dominatrix gimp with this lady, Mistress Isabella, and she did a bunch of stuff to me. And at the end of the day, I was like, I got to be honest with you. Not a lot of it I didn't find sexy at all, but there was like a couple things where I found like really hot. She goes, "How old are you?" I was like, at the time I must have been like 30 maybe. And she was like, "Check out this video." And it was all stuff dialed into my like the stuff that would have been formative. Yeah.
What was the stuff?
It was like Superwoman outfits.
Oh,
like Wonder Woman. Dude, when I first saw Wonder Woman, I remember being a kid and I was like, "Oh, I'm straight." Like, immediately, like I didn't know what that was, but I was like, whatever that is, I'm in. Like the other day, we were in Hot Topic. My daughters are into that kind of like anime stuff,
right?
Yeah.
And there was a Wonder Woman bathing suit,
right?
And I was like, "Honey, let's get this for you." And she was like, "It's made for girls. Like I'm a 48-year-old woman. I'm gonna look disgusting." And I was like, "You're what I got. Let's do it."
Yeah.
But so quicksand was like the thing, and then I watched the thing, I listened to the thing on Radio Lab, and then I start going, that can't be a real thing. It's got to be a joke.
Right.
And then I Googled it one night, and it was like a weird, like, it's not, I don't know, it's just like, was something that I was like, that's kind of sexy. The point when the girl's boobs get to the mud reminded me of like every time the damsel would get to the mud and her boobs would lift naturally, you'd go, as a kid, you'd be like, oh my God, what's going to happen to me?
Yeah.
And it just connected with that.
So right.
Yeah.
And I'm actually curious. Well, okay, so the thing that really threw me off at this is that like a lot of them, the girl, she like dies in like the fetish, like she straight up She just disappears into the oblivion.
And they hold that shot for a while.
All right. I actually get worried.
I get worried too. I go, how long she been under?
Yeah.
Like, and wait, and like legit, like I've seen some really weird ones. Like where that, like these. Now that I said it out loud, what happens is all these dudes that make them hit me up. And they're like, "Hey man, check out my quicksand videos."
Oh, you got hit up by the quicksand community.
Oh, by sinkers. They're called sinkers. They're
sinkers.
Yeah. There's like a legit community.
Wow.
Of people,
and they're all older gentlemen.
Yeah. Not a lot of young kids sinking these days.
No, yeah. Maybe today, maybe we can change that.
Yeah, maybe we can introduce this to everyone.
I want to keep infuse some new blood into this community.
It's I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I don't think so either.
Right now, everyone at like 20 years old is going, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you being serious
Yes.
right now?"
Well, here we go. I've got a whole. I mean, I've got.
If you have the good one, I'll tell you which one's the good one.
So here, let me.
You have 21 minutes of it.
Well, here I'm gonna skip forward, but
Sexy girl.
here she is.
I've seen this one.
She's got her toe.
Florida.
She's like, "Oh man, I don't know what I'm." That top is troublingly low for this family-friendly show. So let's cut.
Oh, this one's good.
Actually, this one is quite graphic, so I don't want to get too.
Okay.
I mean, she's in a bathing suit for Christ's sake. I mean, give me a break, right? I mean, what are we fucking? What is this? The Catholic Church?
Oh, look at the.
Here, I'm trying to not show too much. I want to cut to the money shot, aka when she dies.
Dude, that is.
Wait, I don't know. Does she perish in this one? This shit is so bizarre.
It's so bizarre. By the way, this.
Eli, can you sit back? I can't see the bar. So I don't think she perishes in this one. So let's.
What?
Look at this into the birds. That's just real.
What is going on?
So here we go. So this is the one where they perish at the end, and these are the ones that I cherish. So here she is. It starts almost like a thrasher.
Oh, see, this is good. She's walking through the woods.
Yeah, you get the whole story.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look, she's running away from someone. Clearly.
Oh,
whoa. Yeah, no, yeah. What?
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
I think I can make it.
Yeah.
What is this, Apocalypto? Are you out of your mind? I just jumped in my feet. That is tar.
You had two very good ways to walk around that. So there's one where she likes it, and there's one where she's actually like, I think there's one where
she's going quick.
Where she's like, I'm dying. Somebody help me. This is not a joke.
Yeah.
She's like, I know you're
filming.
filming.
She's like talking to the producers.
She's like, I know you're filming.
Say words, marshmallow. Get me out of here.
Yeah. So here we go. This is going to get really sexy now.
Oh, lay your hair back.
Here she... I can't see the frickin' bar, but I want to find the money shot where she perishes. She's struggling, man. So here we go.
She looks a little bit like Courtney Love.
Get your dicks out, everybody.
How am I gonna get out of this?
By the way, this isn't the part that turns me on. I've already stopped watching it for the record.
You gotta watch till the end.
Her breaking character and being like, Daryl, for real. Daryl, come on, this isn't funny anymore, man.
That's what really turns me on. When they instruct them to break the wall so it looks like they're actually dying. See ya.
By the way, it should be noted, she didn't even take a breath. Now, let's see.
She was like,
so wait, can I tell you what's crazy is that this got me into a spiral of quicksand, and there's a video online of this, I think he's like a British journalist out where quicksand is, out in like the Isles, like somewhere in on the coast.
Real
quicksand. And he's like, all right, so the quicksand here is pretty dangerous, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how you get in and out of quicksand. I've got all the safety guys. We're going to be fine. So, first of all, you get in and you wiggle around a little bit, all right? And then you go in a little lower. Wow, this is happening quick. This is happening a lot quicker than I thought. All right, okay, all right, maybe we want to start getting me out. And they spend 3 hours trying to get him out of quicksand.
He was terrified.
And he is terrified, and he keeps sinking. And
oh my God.
Dude,
how high up does it go?
I honestly think it gets to his chest,
yeah,
but he can't breathe. And he's like and I'm watching this. I'm watching it like You know those Russian kids that hang off the side of a building?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm watching it like that, going like, this is, and I'm going, it's on YouTube. I know he doesn't die. They can't do snuff films on YouTube. But part of me is like, holy! I started doing a solo podcast because of videos like that, where I do two. I do one with like guests like you. I'd love to have
the
you guys
open
on.
tabs.
Yeah, open
Love
tabs.
it.
And I just do open tabs of shit I like, of shit I'm interested in. It's always flash floods, but that kind of stuff blows my mind. Like when you find a video like that and you're like, oh.
No, I mean,
I love the open tabs, by the way, because I always have like a million tabs.
I love the concept. Yeah,
it's a fun
such
game.
A cool concept.
It's a fun game that we used to play. I used to play with guys. Is like you'd go in and just open your browser like this, and go ahead, ask me what I've been Googling. And someone could just flip through and be like, oh, tell me about Kevin and Bean. I go, oh, well, Bean's the guy that's not in studio. Oh, tell me about Rich Eisen. Oh, tell me about Adrian Argento. All right, so
right.
But yeah, so that's the podcast. But I love finding a good video on.
No, I never imagined in my whole life that I feel like I've seen everything. So I'm wondering, do you have any other strange, bizarre phenomenons that you're onto YouTube right now that's really piquing your interest, or your penis, or both?
Dude, can I tell you one of the coolest things I've seen in a while? Do you ever heard backroom casting couch?
That's the porn, right?
The porn.
Yeah.
I saw one of the outtakes where the girl says no.
Oh.
And it was so awesome.
Wait, that's counter. That's not the point of the.
It's nothing happens, but it's so awesome.
Are they like, why are you here?
She just sits down and he does his spiel. You've heard the spiel. So I'm not the director myself personally. I'm just a casting guy. I send this out to the producers. They'll hire you, and they just want to make sure you can perform in camera and that you're comfortable. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, so what I'm going to ask you to do is first undress, and then the best part of that whole video series is that look on their face where they're like, okay. That's the only reason I've ever watched it. And the one girl goes, nah. And he's like, what? She's like, pay me now. And he's like, and then you see him on his heels, like, that's not how it works.
She switched it on him.
She switched it on him. And this guy who's been so confident for the whole series is like, no, you got to get naked. Like, you see the worm he is.
Does it ever go anywhere?
No, they never go anywhere. It's so great. It's such a great episode. I was like, more of those.
Where do you find that?
I think on YouTube. To put backroom casting couch fail or something.
Fail. It's on Pornhub. Better not click that.
Yeah. Tony Robbins. I can watch any video he does because he is a sociopath.
Tony Robbins freaks me out because on one hand, like I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard him. He's got like this magic. He's like, he is a sociopath. He's got that cult charm.
He
could make you eat poison applesauce and catch a fucking comet behind the moon or whatever. He could do that.
100%.
Right.
He's got a video.
He's scary.
He's got a video of him showing off his house in Fiji, right? And he's showing it to the camera, and it's just like, do you ever like, the best way to say this is like, do you ever have a friend who gets genital warts? And then every conversation they have, all they do is kind of slide in statistics about how common genital warts are. They haven't told you that they have genital warts. They're just like, 1 in 4 people have HPV. HPV is very common. Very, very common.
Is this it, by the way?
Yeah, this is it. This is it. Wait.
Because he is an interesting,
Go to the very end and watch the way he makes...
What is going on? I can't see. For some reason, I'm not ready, but Hila's covering the... Let me try to address this.
Okay. What he's right here, I'll tell you, I can... He's basically saying
he's got hard
he's a
nipples.
very integral part of this community. That's really his family. They call him Big Boss. But this is what I found...
And that's family?
Wait, who calls him Big Boss?
Everyone calls him Big Boss. Everyone
children?
in Fiji calls him Big Boss.
Oh, Tony, that's fucked up.
But the best part is he forces everyone to stop what they're doing, come out to the driveway, and sing a song to him. And he stands in the middle as they sing at him and play the guitar. And you look at some guys like, I got to get back to cutting trees. Like, okay, Tony, let's do this. Just play a little bit, and you'll see them singing
Look at his
to
nipples, though.
He's in great shape.
Damn.
By the way, I'm saying
Tony.
all this, and I understand that he's never sold himself as anything other than what he is, okay?
Yeah.
Well,
he's not being hypocritical. He is out
It
there.
does. I mean, yeah. We watched the documentary about him.
Loved it.
It's pretty incredible.
The thing is, like, there's a documentary on Netflix about him that was a definite puff piece, but you can't help but hide the insanity of it. So as hard as they try to make him look like a saint, you can tell how weird it is also.
Oh, he's got
right?
that dipping pool outside his house?
Yeah, the dipping pool. He's got a little trampoline that he hops on.
Yeah. He makes the girl break up with her boyfriend on the phone.
Right. I
was like, dude.
That's the one I was
bro.
a bit.
Yeah, man. Hey, what's life going to be like when she gets out of here and gets her Corolla? And he calls back. He's like, what the fuck was that?
And she's like, sorry, we're okay.
Sorry.
We're okay. I just got peer pressured into doing it on live TV.
on Netflix.
I don't mean that at all.
And then she's in a worse place than she started. I'm so sorry. I'll be at your house in 10 minutes.
He's like, he does this shit where
she looked pretty broken afterwards. Like,
it was fucked. That part fucked me up. I was like, that wasn't cool, Tony Robbins.
Dude, it's like,
he does this thing where he's like, he's like, he's not good for you, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna call him right now while everyone's watching the cameras on you and tell him you don't love him, and you never loved him. I love this idea. Yeah, and you never loved him.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
That for me, I go, and here's the biggest problem is like I know self-help gurus, like I know them, and I just go, what about the day before you were a self-help guru and you were looking for help? Like, I just.
No, they're walking paradox. And you know this guy's the most I mean, if this guy... He's got a fuck dungeon.
He has like 9 different beds around his house. And he just keeps going, this is my outdoor bed where my beautiful wife and I lay.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. Never once have I ever said, that's the couch where my beautiful wife and I sit down.
Okay, your wife, like, tell me...
This is where we make love, vaginally.
No, this guy's crazy, man.
Yeah,
and doesn't he have like giganticism? He's got like a disease that makes him like huge and his voice crazy.
Wait, we couldn't kill him if he was passed out in a hotel room with bats. Okay, he's that much bigger than us.
No, he has giganticism.
I think so. He's a massive man.
Yeah,
his teeth fit in his mouth. Like he doesn't have like that's the key to giganticism is baby teeth.
Oh, is that true?
I think baby teeth.
Okay.
When you have baby,
I think he has a hormone thing. There's something wrong. There's
He's in great shape. He's got to be on testosterone.
Yeah, he's killing.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Family on both sides.
Anyway,
they call me Boss Ulavu, which means big boss.
You're a big boss?
Wait. Hit pause. Ask me about my family, and then I'm going to reply the way Tony Robbins.
Bert, tell me about your family.
They call me Big Daddy Kane, which means I'm the boss.
The thing is, he laughs like it's like not his idea.
Oh my god!
But they're like, Dad. He's like, excuse me.
But he's like, keep going.
You mean Big Daddy Boss?
The way he just laughs at that was so creepy. They call me Big Boss. I'm the big boss. So what am I going to do? I pay for everything. Wait, watch them sing to him.
This is Vanilla Lavu, right? The Big Island, right?
The Big Island. Yeah, so you're the big boss of the Big Island.
I mean, you know this guy's a god complex.
So humble.
Watch this.
Okay, we'll be ready to go in 5 minutes.
These guys are like, dude, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
He's like, he's doing this. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with this.
The colonizer's leaving everybody. Let's blackface it up for him before he gets out of here.
He's literally going, I don't know about this.
Right now they're in the back. Time to act like savages. Big Boss is leaving. Everyone kick your shoes off. He wants to see us barefoot. Put on your Hawaiian shirts and lays.
Look at this.
What?
No.
They put flowers in our hairs. Do you think those guys had them in there naturally? No.
The entire staff gathers to bid Tony farewell, just spontaneously, out of love and compassion, because they're going to miss him. They're going to miss cleaning up after him and taking care of him and taking care of him. It's such a joy and a pleasure.
Getting his breakfast ready, seeing that he only ate half because he's on a diet,
watching
and then having to throw away brand new eggs.
Yeah. Don't you eat that. He goes, don't you fucking eat that. Throw it in the garbage.
I'm a total hypocrite because this is exactly how I behave if I had this much money. I would do everything that Tony's doing.
You're not a hypocrite because, well, he acts like he's Saint John the Divine.
Yeah.
You know?
Look at the big guy with the fan in his hand. Like, he's just like, get me the fuck out of here.
Damn. This is amazing. Why did they even try to spin it like it's just like...
Again. I'm so sorry, but I look forward to coming back home to see all the family again.
Wait, this is just his house? These motherfuckers just work at his house. This isn't a resort. This is your house? These are your slaves. He has slaves. He has Fiji slaves.
I think they're employees.
Meet out front, Mr. Tony. Big Daddy is leaving. 7 a.m. Be there. Dress up. Bring your little flower fan.
Anyone got a baby?
Yeah.
I would love a baby in the shot.
You know what happens when you miss 7 a.m. They just spontaneously met on the driveway to say goodbye.
Spontaneously, 30 of them showed up at the driveway to see him off.
Why would you show this off? This is embarrassing.
This is
He's like,
embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
This is like
not,
DJ
it's more.
Khaled.
It's scary. It's
like the
terrifying.
DJ Khaled in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
What?
no,
No.
it's very much. It's very similar.
I mean,
Because
it's
that's
worse.
a resort. They work there all the
Yeah.
time. This is his house. He's probably there 1 month a year.
If a month, I mean, think of his schedule. There's no way he's making it all the way to Fiji.
You think he fucks
Yeah.
with women? Do they have to pay
No,
tribute?
I've watched this. He's really in love with
It's
his wife.
not. No, but it's not sex. It's about.
It's about
They have to
procreation.
pay their tribute to the king.
I don't know.
You know, back in the day, the king got to fuck the bride before the groom.
That's what's that called? A fornication under consent of the king. Fucking.
He's fornicating under the king.
Oh, interesting. By the way, if we do end up in a hate spiral in life, Tony Robbins is never pulling us out. Like, if we do need self-help, Tony's
Yeah.
like, I'm glad you got there.
He's like-
Big Boss is leaving. Do you want to sing for me?
Yeah.
Stand up.
He's like, maybe you'd like if I fornicated with your wife first.
Wait, watch this.
God.
It gets better.
Like, shut up, Tony. You own slaves.
It's been a beautiful, beautiful trip. Naka.
So they say when you're leaving.
They sing right at him. He pretends.
They make them rehearse this. These are just the people that work at your house, and they rehearse singing songs to you, man. What the fuck? The lyrics are "White Devil, goodbye, White Devil."
In Fijian, they're going,
Yeah.
he's leaving forever. Hopefully his plane goes down. We'll never work for him again.
Goodbye. Yeah. Wow, that was really something, man. I'm glad you shared that. I have to say, you have gems. You bring gifts. This is a gift. I appreciate
Well, no,
you
I'm
bringing
glad I shared.
such a joy.
Share.
I love this so much. This is really the stuff that I live for.
Business Insider. They really cracked the story.
Tony Robbins. He got in trouble recently for like a Me Too thing. What was it?
Not a Me
No, he
Too.
didn't get Me Too'd, but he
No.
said something at one of the conferences where, what was it like?
It was a weird comment.
It was like a victim shaming thing.
Okay, so when Instagram stories came out, and that was more accessible for me and my fan base, I think, I went, what I'll do is I'll find ways to tell a story. So I'll do a half marathon. I'll do a Spartan race. I'll do a triathlon. I'll do a marathon. I'll go to Paris. I'll take it on tour. I'm doing a theater tour. Come follow my story. And then have a beginning, middle, and end. Like you find me. And that is how I use Instagram stories. And so someone like a triathlon, I find that fun. I mean, my interaction was like through the roof that day.
Really?
And then people are like, I'm going in and like going into American Airlines to check in for my flight, and the lady checking me in is like, "Hey, how was the triathlon?" And you're like, "Oh, it's good." She's like, I love your stories."
That's so
crazy.
cool.
Yeah, and so I think that is how I use Instagram, and then I use the feed part for like that one big promo I shoot, or
Yeah.
So, but so I'm going to Paris next week, just on a lark. So I was like, "Fuck it."
A lark.
Yeah.
Just like a little adventure?
Yeah, because I was like, I got a special to
What's
promote.
a lark?
And it's just like
A whim?
Yeah, on a whim.
It's a lark.
Spontaneous?
Spontaneous.
as it gets.
I had a weekend off, and I was like, I'm gonna probably be doing press, and I was like in New York, and then part of me was like, you know what? I'll just go to Paris.
You're feeling adventurous.
Yeah, and I'll put it on my stories, and then people can follow me in Paris and eat my way through Paris and drink my way into the night,
I
and
wanna
then
go
find
to
out where I
Paris.
stay. And so I was like, fuck it, why not? It's like,
We're having
Nice.
a lark this weekend.
Yeah.
where are you guys going?
Santa Cruz. Not as interesting.
Ooh, Santa Cruz is.
It's my
beautiful.
favorite place.
Yeah. We lived there together for a year.
Yeah.
For real?
So
Yeah.
love that place.
Now, do you guys turn off your professional life when you go do
This
This
weekend,
time.
yes.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
it's-
Total disconnect.
Last time we were there, we were shooting a vlog, and it's like, yeah, it's always kind of like you're half busy with that.
That's why I stopped doing
Your
it.
mind
Yeah.
is occupied
Yeah.
with like, when's that good shot coming?
Yeah.
You know.
That's
And-
why
and you
Casey.
gotta get rid of
That's
it.
what I think about Casey Neistat is like. When he stopped doing his vlog, I was like, thank God, because he seems like he has a really cool life, but I know that he's not getting to taste it.
Yeah.
Because when he's getting in the helicopter, he's also thinking of his exterior shot,
Yes.
his entry
His
shot,
drone shot
yeah, his
is-
drone shot. He's got all
No,
these
it's
shots.
Three
It's
angles.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that we've gone through that, and that's
Yeah.
why we pretty much stopped making videos on our main channel. And
Really?
I mean, we haven't posted there in a long time, and we just kind of one day we're like, we cannot sustain this anymore.
It's too hard. My daughter, you'll hear my daughter say stuff like, "Everything doesn't need to go on Instagram, Dad," and you're
Right.
just like, "Yeah, but you."
Well, it's about your relationship with it. If
Yeah.
if it doesn't bother you, if you're excited and it's fun for you, that's wholesome and good.
Yeah.
But for us, and I'm sure for Casey too, where it's like it feels bad, and you're aware that it feels bad, and you don't want to be doing it, and you're anxious and you're stressed all the time. That's when it's bad. But if you enjoy it,
Yeah.
then God bless.
I loved when you guys did that like co-share, or what is it called when you switch swap, or what's it called? Flip flop, when you guys both do something for each other's channel.
Oh, collab.
Collab. That's it.
I was like, whoa. We did the
Ran a train on each other.
Yeah, that was fun.
But
That
the
was
stuff I
fun.
wanted
That
to
was fun,
see
yeah.
was
Yeah.
this. Like, part of me was like, I wish someone else had a camera. I wanted to see the points that you did. I want to see what you guys didn't show. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the fascinating part for me. That's what I love about podcasts.
Yeah.
Is like,
Yeah.
you put your armor down and you just share sometimes stuff you don't like front
Right.
wiping. You know?
No, I know.
Right, because those videos are so edited. Like,
Yeah.
from 2 hours, it could go down to 10 minutes. That's
Of course, every time.
Yeah.
And that's why I love doing the show live too, because it's like no takebacks, dude.
Yep.
It's all out there.
Dude, it holds you accountable. Here's what I also love about a podcast, and I've said this a number of times, is that if you're watching this and listening and you hear something you're offended by, this is an extension of social media. Share what offends you with the person creating it and explain to them why and help change their mind, as opposed to like tattletaling. Like, dude, I've said some fucked up stuff on my podcast, legit, across the board. And my fans will always be like, bro, that was like 1 hour, 33 seconds, 22 minutes. Like, check what you got to really rethink that. I know that everyone was laughing in the room, but it's not funny. And you're like, oh, okay. So I mean, and dude, I was at the beginning of podcasting when you could go out and say shit and ruin friendships.
Damn.
You didn't even know you were doing it. You were just like
what? Like how would that happen?
me. There's this guy. There's this comedian. I won't say his name because I don't want to like put him on blast, but he kind of like took a story from me, and
What does that mean?
like a bit.
he was telling a story, and he was when he was telling the story, he was saying that it happened to me. And he was telling it on stage, but he was saying it happened to Bert. It happened to
It's
Bert.
like a comedy
And
bit.
then one day, Tom Segura, we were all three friends. Tom called me up. He's like, "Hey man, just so you know, he's saying it happened to him now." And he never really talked to me about that. And he just started doing it and thinking.
And you guys were close friends?
We were pretty close. And
So
then,
that's pretty taboo, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's
really
pretty,
taboo.
Yeah.
And I tried to have a conversation with him, and it
Was that a bit you wanted to use?
actually no. That's what's problematic about it. But the problem was I almost really
Still.
didn't want the bit out there.
Yeah.
Because it's a great story, but it's part of me was like, you know what? The person that's involved in the story, they may not remember that it happened to me. They definitely don't know it didn't happen to you. But then when it comes back to me, he's going to be like, what? And I'm going to look like an asshole.
Yeah.
So I'd
Yeah.
rather, and if I just do decide to tell it, I want to tell it on my timeline. I want to
Right.
be the one to be able to tell it.
Yeah.
I want to meet the guy that it happened with and say again and go, hey man, this story happened.
Yeah.
And it's a great story. I won't tell you the story, but I'd like to tell it on stage. I need your blessing.
Yeah.
That's how I go about it.
Yeah.
But this other guy just started saying it happened to him, and then I went on Joe's podcast and was like, and Joe just asked me about it. And this is probably like 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Whoa!
And I just
That's
was
crazy.
like, I just told him, like the way we're talking right now. I just
Yeah.
was like, and dude, I was unaware of how many people were listening. Like,
Right.
And all of a sudden, and then it started a huge fight between me and the guy. And then the guy just was like, fuck you, not my friend. And in my head, I was like, it was just
No,
really
that's it.
confusing.
Yeah.
And I haven't spoken to the guy since.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did that to a couple people. Like I would just get drunk on a podcast and be honest.
Dude, that's the killer. I used to drink, and I
Yeah.
pretty much stopped just because it's like when you're live, you want to make sure
Yeah.
that
you
you're
gotta
saying
be-
what you mean.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm drunk so much that I'm pretty.
I'm a bad drunk. I flip tables when I'm drunk.
I
as you know.
remember.
That may have been the last time I drank.
For real?
No,
No, there were a couple.
a couple
but-
in between.
I'm pretty cool being drunk and still biting my tongue if I know it's gonna hurt somebody. But if it's about me or like my thoughts, I'll just share them. And then if they're messed up, then I'll either defend them or go, yeah, you're right, I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. I fucked
Yeah,
up.
sure.
You know, but I drink a lot.
What did the guy say? How did he come to terms
Like
with having
confront you?
stole your bit?
He said the last thing he said to me was, "You are a garbage human being. You're
Wow.
a piece of shit, and you have no friends. And you'll realize in a year that I was the only friend you ever had, and you have no friends. And he's like, lose my number. I don't ever want to speak to you again. You're dead to me.
Wow.
And I was like, and by the way, it was so confusing at the time because I thought we were okay. Like I thought we were gonna figure this out. You know, like I thought we could figure all of this out and everyone was gonna be fine. And he just said that. And at that point, it was, by the way, it was Christmas Eve. And I was like, and I went on a hike up to the mountains with my daughters and to the Hollywood sign. And I got up there and I thought, I'm putting so much energy in trying to fix this when the guy doesn't want to fix it. And to be honest with you, I go in clear conscience, I didn't do anything wrong.
Sure.
And like I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. And I was like, I got to let this go. This is Christmas Eve. And I let it go that day. And I said, my wife said to me, let it go right now. Don't talk about this for, there used to be, I'll tell you, there's a funny word we used to use about not talking about it. But she's like, let it go now and just let it go. And you can't be friends with him. You never talk to him again. Just he's out of your life. That's what it is. That's what he wants. That's what you want. That's what you need. Then do it. And I just haven't spoken to him in
That's good advice. That's wise.
Dude, it's hard to let go of people go out of your life.
Yeah.
Like to break up with a friend and be like, hey man, we're not having fun anymore. And because to a dude, it sounds so weird. I've broken up with dudes before. My buddy Eddie and I have broken up 3 times.
That's funny. I've broken up with guys before.
Well, there's the one when, you know.
I guess I don't know. Was there a big breakup? I don't want you to say it on the air. Did I have a big male breakup that I don't remember?
No, you know.
My buddy Eddie and I.
Now I'm
broken
really
up.
interested.
We've broken up a number of times, and then he's also broken up with my buddy Chris. And so I remember one time going to Atlanta and being like, hey, Chris, we should all hang out. And he's like, oh, Eddie and I are on a break right now.
That's a great thing to say about it.
I was like, you don't think you guys could just get together for a weekend so we could all hang out? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see if we can get back together. It's so weird.
But I am intrigued, and I don't want to bring it up. I'm just only asking because I'm intrigued. But did he ever come to terms with he's like, yes, that was your story, and I stole it.
Yes, I think he's definitely come to terms with it.
Did he ever apologize? Be like, I shouldn't have done that, but you shouldn't have done that. Was it like that kind of
we've
thing?
We've never spoken since. We had, at a time had shared a manager and a friend, and that manager tried to negotiate, almost like a getting back together, but I had said, you know, when that thing went down, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And then I grew into like a different man than the guy I am today. Yeah. And I don't think I could ever go back to the guy that he knew. Like, so I don't know if that would even work. But I see him on Twitter and Instagram every now and then. And he seems like he's doing, all I'll say is, and I don't know, but it seems like he's doing very well. And he seems like he's very happy. I feel like he's gone through a lot, but I feel like he's found peace in his life. Like I saw him on his Instagram. I went flip through his Instagram the other day and I was like, dude, I'm almost happy for him. Like he seems like he's in so much of a better place than I ever knew him to be. And so, and by the way,
I was going to ask, did it affect his career? Does
I think a little bit. I think a little bit. But I think that was just part of it. I think some other stuff happened with him where he, I think just life got chaotic for him for a second. And he was so focused on everything else that he didn't have time to focus on his career. And then, but he's doing fine. I mean, he's working. Everyone's working, you know?
Yeah.
God bless. Damn.
Yeah.
I've definitely said and done shit on this podcast that has haunted me. Haunted me.
Dude, when we did, I mean, this is real, I don't care. I'll tell fucking anyone. The biggest mistake I ever made in my life. And it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was the right thing to do. But when we did the podcast where me, Ari, and Tom decided to do Sober October, they asked me how much I drank, and I sat there for a second, and I thought, I remember where I was sitting, I remember how I felt, I remember where I looked, because they were sitting in a certain way, and I looked to Tom, who I knew would be the most empathetic, and I thought, if you lie, you're always going to be lying. Just tell the truth. And I told him how many double Tito's and sodas I have in a day. And I looked at Tom, knowing Joe wasn't going to like the answer and Ari wasn't going to like the answer. And Tom looked at me like, Oh, buddy.
What is that? What is it?
It was like 9.
$9 a day?
I was
Is that
like,
how much you drink a
like,
day?
like at a night, like you go, you bring one on stage, you have another one, and then a couple more after that, and then
Holy
whatever the
smokes.
answer. I don't even know what the answer was anymore. I don't even know what
Right,
the answer was
okay,
anymore.
right.
But it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember Tom just looking at me like, "Oh, buddy," and Ari was like, "What? What? Not 9? And Joe's energy changed, and he was like, "Wait. Hold on. And I went in bed that night. I got in bed that night, and I was like, bro, you should have never shown them the man behind the curtain. Like, I was like, why would you ever be honest?
But so, since that day, did you know that people were going to react that way? Like,
No,
so,
I didn't.
Did you think that was somewhat normal amount to be drinking in a day?
It just got there. It just got there. Where
Have you scaled back since then?
Yeah. Well, we did Sober October, right? I didn't drink for a month. And then I went on a tear in November, obviously. But then what happened is I started getting ready for my special because I shot it in February. And then I was like, this is going to sound so fucking silly. The biggest thing I learned in after Sober October was that I can go to sleep sober. Like, I don't need to, like, put myself to sleep. I can just go lay in a bed and go, this will happen. Here we go. Here we go.
Previously,
Here we go.
you had to...
Every night I had to have a drink.
Right.
I had to have a drink to go to bed. It
Right.
was the way I wrapped up my night. All right, guys, let's have dinner. Honey, you want to open a bottle of wine? Sure, bottle of wine, split a bottle of wine. She'd have a glass, I'd finish the rest. And then I'd make a cocktail, sit down, watch TV, make another cocktail, she'd go to bed, one more cocktail, fuck it, cigar and a one-hitter outside. Like, and it was every night. And
Do you ever concern that you were growing an addiction?
No, I was way past that. Like, I wasn't worried about the addiction. I was like, we are where we are. This is what I do for a living. This is who I am. I fly, I party.
But then you quit cold turkey for a whole month.
Yeah, well, yeah, and everyone was like, you're going to have a stroke. And I was like, what? And then I was like...
It is dangerous if you're addicted to alcohol.
I wasn't addicted, apparently.
Well, if you consume it a lot.
Yeah, if you do it, but you got to do it. I mean, I'm not a doctor.
I've seen documentaries of alcohol addicts. It's a special kind. Like, these guys drink whole bottles.
It's very different.
More than that.
Once again, I'm not a doctor, so anyone listening, do not listen to what I'm telling you. Just because it worked for me, do not...
You have a freak body that you run triathlons and drink 9 drinks a day and shit.
Well, what happened is, and so we did Sober October, and then I was
kind of
like...
a shoe nice. You're like a successful shoe nice. You don't know what that means?
No, I do.
But I think people... but like, you have an incredible body. You endure.
Yeah.
And you achieve.
Yeah.
Despite your efforts to just destroy your own body.
I take that as a compliment. But yeah, I just quit drinking, and then there was no, like, I felt no withdrawals. I felt no bounce back. I just was like, I didn't
we need to sample your blood and like.
I felt no like need to drink. I just was like, I was like,
you were fine.
DNA.
I was like, cool. And then when I started drinking, I only started because we were in New Orleans, and I was with Ari. And he's like, let's get fucking drunk. And I was like, cool. And we got a buzz again, and I drank a little bit. But then in November, I just got the offer, or like end of October, I got the offer for Netflix, and I was like, okay, now I got to get to work. And so I just scaled back my drinking to like, if I wanted to party, I could party, but I had to focus on the special.
Right.
Didn't drink leading up to the special, did the special, and then the LA Marathon was around the corner. Didn't drink going into that.
Damn.
And then like partied, but then was like, oh, triathlon's coming up, not drinking. Like, I'm not drinking right now, but that's what's scary is I don't like want to tell people like I'm not drinking. Like, that's not me. I drink if I want to drink. Like, if I wanted to drink, like tonight I'm taking a car service down to Irvine and taking it back. And in my head, I'm like, all right, should I drink tonight? Because I don't have to drive. I was like, I got 2 shows. I wouldn't mind a cocktail on like a late show when I start the Machine story. And then I was like, maybe I'll text my friend and see if we can go for a bike ride tomorrow. And if we go for a bike ride, I won't drink. But I'm definitely drinking Saturday night because like we're taking a party bus down to Irvine. All our friends are on it, and I'm gonna party on that. I'm going to party back. We're doing a screening of my special at my friend's house. Got a big screening room. I go and party on Sunday. And then I was like, I'm doing Conan Monday, so I won't party. Like, I'll probably scale back early Sunday night, but I get on a red eye to New York. I'm partying Monday night.
So basically your whole week is centered around when you drink.
Yeah. I just look at when I can drink and I go, all right, we got an opening.
Dude, I wish I enjoyed drinking. I really do. I feel like I have nothing done with wine.
More.
I don't enjoy weed either.
Yeah.
You see people smoking, and they seem to enjoy it so much. And when I smoke, all that happens to me, they say, they will go, like, happy, hungry, sleepy. That's all that happens. What happens to me is fucking paranoid, depressed, gluttonous,
obsessive,
panic attack-y.
Oh,
And
I get- yeah.
it always
Miserable.
brings people together too, and then people will be like, "You want?"
We're best friends.
Smoke?
We toke together.
And
Yeah.
and when you say no, it's like such a disappointment. It's like I don't
Yeah,
smoke.
right. Hey, you want to blaze?
Sorry,
know.
I
Hey,
don't
do you want to
smoke.
be my best friend right now?
Wouldn't it be great if they had fake weed where you could just hit it, you didn't get the smoke or anything, but you had that moment of connection, like, good shit, here you
Yeah.
go.
Right.
I like a nice one hitter of stuff that I've greenlit, like where I go to my own dispensary and I go, here's what I'm looking for. I like that, but I only like one hit. And then what I do now, probably more of, is I'll have a drink and then I'll take a one hitter and then I'm good. Like I can really.
What's a
smoke
one? Oh, you mix and mash.
No,
That
just one hit of weed. Just-
yeah. That is when I enjoy it the most, when I'm drunk. Takes the edge off, you see.
Dude, I can't go just weed because I
Yeah.
need the beer to take the edge
I
off. of
can't
weed.
not go just weed. That is my hell.
What fucking lunatic can just get high and go?
That's why I don't get it. I don't get it.